And we're coming back to you live from the park. I'm Zach.
And I'm Sean.
You are?
And I'm Sean. And I'm and I'm Sean, yeah. And I'm Sean, yeah. And I'm Sean, yeah. His name is Zach, and I'm Sean, yeah.
Sean, this is supposed to be our musical episode, not our rapping episode.
What? Rap is music.
Well, I mean, when you say musical,
Didn't you ever...
nobody actually thinks rap.
Hamilton. Didn't you ever see Hamilton?
No.
I didn't. But I heard it was a musical with a lot of rap in it.
Okay, I'm wrong.
That's why I bring it up.
Weird.
It was on Broadway. It was very revolutionary because it was like very well put together.
Because it had rap in it.
And it had rap in it.
All right, one musical had rap in it. It's the outlier here.
Exactly. We can be an outlier together.
We already are. So, I have to say, I watched Scary Thing 3 like 20 minutes after it was uploaded.
Yeah. Everyone, make sure you check out Scary Thing 3. Link will not be in the description, but, you know.
Sean, put the link in the description.
No, it's just, go to the channel. It's right there.
Put the link in the description.
All they have to do is click on the channel. It'll take them straight to it.
Sean, if we can link a non-existent merch store, I think the least we can do is link our own video.
Anyways, what were you saying about that?
It was amazing.
Yeah,
it was as stupid as I was hoping it would be.
Aren't you glad we didn't tell you about Corby's parts in it?
All of a sudden, Corby was there at Clay's house. I was like, what is happening?
And I loved it because when Clay was like, when we were working on how we were going to put those shots together, he was just like, just turn the camera as if we're turning to camera to see someone. And then the first camera turn, it fits perfectly. And then every single other one, it doesn't fit at all.
I was so confused. I was like, what is happening? How did Clay go from Clay's house back to the woods?
Oh, yeah, it's really a thing.
And your comment on our production value was incredible.
That was Corby.
That was Corby.
Corby's the one that uploaded, so you can give all that
I'll
credit.
have to text him some props.
To him. Yeah, text him some props. He needs more of those.
No, he doesn't. He's perfect.
Well, I'm talking about literal, like, props for...
Oh, yeah. I'll text him some emojis or something that I could use as the next video.
Anyway, so yeah. I'm gonna start putting together Scary Thing 2.
Finally! Yes!
I wanted to do it this week, but I had an exam and a project that I still need to present this week. So,
how dare school get in the way?
Yeah,
dude.
that has to take priority. But hopefully, I can get started on that this weekend or like next Tuesday. So, Scary Thing 2 will be coming soon.
Okay, the funny thing is...
It's not even completed.
True. I remember the least about Scary Thing 2.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Because, like, it happened, like, what, 2 years ago? And I
imagine how it feels for me as the one who has to freaking edit it. And I'm like, I'm going to have to freaking find the good takes out of all the trash takes. It's not going to be like editing Scary Thing 3 where I just quickly zipped through and I was like, oh, yeah, this was a good one, this was a good one. And then I just stitched it together. It's going to be me watching... like an hour worth of us messing up because there's like some videos segments that are like 10 minutes long because we just didn't stop the recording and somewhere in there is the right take.
Is the good one? No.
So anyways, what I'm saying is my life sucks.
Dude, I'm sorry to hear that.
But no, it's all right. I don't mind editing. I think it's all right. I think it's fine.
That's why you do the editing, Sean.
That's why I do
That's why
editing.
I make you do all the work for Spicy Nuggs.
That's not why. It's because I take all the money.
Wait, we make money?
Sorry, what was it? Sorry, I'm getting a call. Hello? No, he's here. It's for you. Here you go.
Oh, hello? Yeah, this is Zach. Wait, what do you mean we got a $1,000 donation the other day?
Oh, give it back.
You want Sean?
Yeah, thank you. Hi. Sorry. We said don't talk to him about it. No, we discussed this in full.
Wait, Sean, you know I can hear you, right?
You don't read the descriptions of the videos? You have to hit the show more thing. It says the rest of it. Have you not been... Give me 1 second, Zach. We discussed this in... If you ever...
I think Sean's scamming me.
Listen, if you ever do this to me again, you can say goodbye to your cut of the money. Thank you.
Wait, did I hear Monopoly money?
What was that?
You're getting paid in Monopoly money?
What are you talking about? I'm not getting paid in anything. I'm not... These videos are purely for fun and friendship. Woo!
Red. Where is it?
Where is she?
Where's Rachel?
I'm like, oh, Rachel? You just want to know where Rachel is?
Yeah.
Oh, she's just up the street, man.
I mean, she's the one giving you the Monopoly money, right?
What? There's no money. Shut up. I don't know. I got like the embarrassed tsundere about that. Shut up. Whatever, man. There's no money. Whatever.
And everyone knows, whatever the tsundere says, you take the exact opposite of it. So there is money.
For what? Shut up. There's no money. Come on, man.
Dude, I don't think tsundere has made it onto Spicy Nugs in a long time.
I think I mentioned it last semester, last episode, but I don't think we went into it because we were too busy discussing your fursona. So
I'll have you know, Clay sends me a Snapchat of that episode.
Has he been listening, or is it just because he saw the title of that one and he was
I don't know.
Gotta dive in on this?
I know he was watching that one though, because it was like playing on his computer screen.
That is so
and I was
funny.
like, kill me. The one episode Clay probably watched in like 2.5 semesters.
Well, here's the thing. I knew I had to include the word fursona in the title. Otherwise, we wouldn't get the views from the furry community, aka Clay.
We can do with a few less views. That's okay.
No, we can't, because if we get a few less, we're at 0.
Is that not the goal?
The goal.
We've been trying to scare everyone away this whole time, right?
What are you talking about? I don't scare anyone away. I think you're all very beautiful people. I wish I could just go up to each one of you and give you a big old kiss, just like with my professors. But
we just lost our last viewer. Allison's like, I'm done with this.
I can't keep listening to him talk about kissing professors. That's where I draw the line. I have morals.
It's too much.
Anyways, shoot. You got anything that you said you wanted to torture me today?
Anyways.
Wow, you really got the nasal cavity in that one, man.
That was planned.
You really pulled that through. I was impressed.
Thank you.
Getting all riled up over here.
Ooh. So, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I was pondering the last 2 days. I'm like, how can I torture Sean?
Yeah.
And only one thing kept coming to mind.
Oh, this is special.
So, Sean, let's talk about your love life.
Yay! Now, who do you want to talk about?
I was hoping it'd be us.
Oh, my.
You know, that's right. Now that should have been the thumbnail.
Let me get it. Never mind. You know what?
No, I'll get it. I'll get it.
Oh, my.
The best part was the camera like tried to refocus, and you were just like, it got there eventually though.
Just bright light, and then me in a pose like that. So,
Sean.
yeah, well, you know what? Fire away. I'm ready for it. You know, ask me questions about us two.
Well, you know, I'm just so concerned that you don't even like me anymore.
What?
Because you want to kill me now? And
why would you assume that I don't like you just because I want to kill you? Those two things are not like... See, here's your problem.
Okay.
You're thinking about murder in a very...
a negative light?
No, well, yes. But you're thinking of it as in terms of only good and bad. You think, because I want to murder someone, I don't like them. When that's simply not true. You know, I can like someone but still want to murder them. They're not mutually exclusive things.
This is why Sean was my therapist in junior high. He got me through. Wait, it explains so much.
And high school.
Well, high school was a bit more murky there.
Because you were very elusive.
Yeah.
Which only...
Sean, I had to hibernate.
It only made my love for you grow more.
No! I mean, of course, yeah.
Distance makes the heart grow so much fonder. Here, feel this.
Okay.
Give it a nice little... Yeah.
Dude, why does it not break? It's just like...
We're talking about a leaf, by the way.
Out of context.
This is the kind of quality entertainment we bring to the table. We're like talking about how I want to murder you and also love you, and then I'm like,
then
here,
a leaf.
look at this.
Here, look at this. Why doesn't it break?
It's kind of wet. What's going on?
Your face is kind of wet.
So Zach, you know how we talked about some things can't be talked about on the show?
No.
Okay. We'll go over it again. Here was the
Sean, we
train.
talked about the tall man.
What about it?
What's
the problem with that?
If it's immoral to kidnap children.
You look over at the kids on the playground.
I had to make sure people were in earshot of me. There's some things that should and should not be said at a park, probably.
But they're totally okay to say on a college campus. See, that's another interesting thing. Apparently, if it's in the name of academia, you can just say anything you want.
That's actually kind of true.
It is. It doesn't matter.
Dude, let's talk about that. I'm intrigued now. Because, okay, the thing is, like, we talked about all those, like, social experiments that, the one in the prison, I think we talked about a little bit on the show.
Probably. The Stanford prison experiment?
Yeah.
Where they,
yeah.
Where they basically split them into two groups, and then all the policemen really started just torturing the prisoners.
Yeah.
Both of those in quotes. But, yeah.
Like, that went downhill real fast, right?
Super fast.
Now imagine if that wasn't for, like, education.
That's just torture.
If it wasn't a study. Like, right.
Well, here's the thing. Because all of those old experiments like that one, or... Man, I'm in psychology. I know about this crap. The one where they made a kid afraid of mice, and then they never gave him any kind of therapy, and so in the future he was scared of anything that was white and furry.
Oh, jeez.
So, like, all those old ones that there was just like, no, it was just like, we're going to figure this out, and it's going to be fine. I attributed it a lot to behavioral psychology, but anyways, that's why we have, like, the class ethics and values now. It's because people realized, oh, I guess we actually
isn't ethical.
Need to speak about what is ethical. We actually need to talk about it because apparently we don't know.
Speaking of that class, I'm taking that class right now.
Yes.
And we haven't done a single thing about ethics or values yet.
What have you done?
We've been talking about logic.
That's what we're doing in my philosophy class.
And I'm like, why are we talking about logic?
Dude, I'd be mad. Yeah,
I am mad.
Is he I mean, probably a philosophy major, but like, are they a philosophy professor as well?
I think so.
He's just bleeding over.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And the thing is, I'd already took philosophy.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm falling asleep in every single class pretty much. I'm like, oh my gosh, stop. But that's besides the point.
Yeah. So that's something that's interesting. So 2 semesters ago when I took ethics and values, and like I was at my grandma's house, and my grandma's like, so what classes are you signed up for? And I was like, oh, I'm signed up for an ethics and values class. It's really interesting so far. And she's like, ethics and values? You have to take a class on that? And she kind of like laughed. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, what do you learn in that class? I'm like, I don't know. It's just like, we talk about like how to be a good person, basically, you know? Like, and moral dilemmas and things like that. And she's like, huh. And she seemed very skeptical of it. I'll say it like that.
It's interesting because at like first thought, you think people wouldn't like know right from wrong.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, this is why I love ethical values so much, and probably why ethical dilemmas, not ethical values. Anyways, and probably why we end up coming back to it so much on this show is just because so much of the time you can't say this is right.
Yeah.
You always need more information or more context.
And that's what my professor in Psychology of Good and Evil is really trying to drive home right now is, wow, why can't I think of categorical thinking, thinking fourth dimensionally. He's trying to really drive home fourth dimensional thinking, which is what I talked about before, what I was referring to with the murder is always bad for you. That would be first dimensional thinking, because you're labeling something as something. But because of that, you're also bringing in second dimensional thinking, which is there's an opposite. So murder is bad, which means, not murder
is good, yeah.
Although it doesn't really work with that one, but essentially that's what it is.
Same
right?
picture though.
Third dimensional is what we get a lot in college, I think. It's relativism. It's people saying, well, it's based on everyone's experience, which we've discussed previously doesn't exactly always work, because then a lot of murder, it can be justified and things like that, just because it's just, whatever relative to that person is good, right? So fourth dimensional thinking is taking everything in its context, and it's really contextualizing it. It's pulling out every single facet that you can to understand it. And so in that way, it makes things both good and bad. And I think that's what happens with ethics and values as a class, and ethical dilemmas overall. And that's why I think we have the class, is because it's not black and white most of the time. There's good and bad for so many of these dilemmas. And so we have to be able to understand how to pull apart every piece of them.
Dude, the world needs more fourth dimensional thinking. That was my first thought, like, yes.
And that's an interesting thing too, because when he first introduced, and he apparently does this for every class he teaches, he talks about fourth dimensional thinking because he wants his students to think fourth dimensionally. As we were discussing that, a student raised her hand and was like, so my brother is a very second dimensional thinker. He thinks some things are very good and others are very bad. And so he doesn't like a lot of the choices I've made. And he brings it up a lot. He's very, just kind of like that, And my professor was like, okay, but you also need to remember, when you're looking at second dimensional thinkers who you're seeing are judging you in that way, you need to be fourth dimensional thinking about their second dimensional thinking. You need to realize they care about you and they want what's best for you.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, whoa, okay.
It goes deeper.
Yeah. So, you can't, if you want to think fourth dimensionally, and it's very difficult to, because you have to hit those blocks in your brain where you're like, okay, this is good and bad. If you want to be able to do that, you have to recognize that the other ways of thinking also have values, but also have things that don't work for them, as well as with fourth dimensional thinking. There's problems there too. He brought it up. He was talking about how we can pull apart very many different issues, but we also overcomplicate things this way that don't need to be overcomplicated.
I think that happens a lot.
Yeah.
It's just I feel like that happens to me in the stupidest situations, where it doesn't even matter.
Yes.
It's all right, was my tone of voice slightly too harsh when I said this? Or and I'll think about that for a good 10 minutes, and it doesn't matter. It already happened. They don't care.
Well, I mean, freaking look at, maybe this isn't the best example for fourth dimensional thinking, but look at our fight back at Clear Creek. I think we were both actually thinking in a second dimensional way, because we were both what I did was wrong. And so we felt guilt for that for all that time. But if we had thought fourth dimensionally, we would have been like, oh, you know what, we're probably okay. Or we would have realized more layers to it. But at the same time, we could have also pulled away worse things. Could have been like, well, maybe Zach just doesn't want to be my friend anymore, or whatever. Instead,
screw that guy.
We just kind of simmered on it for 10 years.
That has to be my favorite story between us now. It's just we both were on this, kept Oh no, it's so funny.
Yeah.
I thought you had forgotten all about it. I was traumatized because I thought I traumatized you about your pajamas.
I didn't. Well, that's the thing. I didn't remember the pajama part. I just remember trying to start a fight with you.
That's so interesting that like we remember it.
The only parts
Completely different.
we remember were the parts we thought were wrong.
That we did was wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I like could not remember what happened really after we like got in a little argument or whatever.
Mhm.
Like after that it's nothing. It's just like I made fun of your pajamas. You got mad at me. That's the end.
Yeah.
Like that's all I remember about it.
I have no idea what came after that really. No, I feel
Probably
like,
never spoke to each other again.
Yeah, we're still not speaking.
I know. The best part is, do you remember the what were those things we would catch in the traps?
Oh, the pot guts.
Because I remember we would go pot gut hunting all the time together.
Yeah, that was.
And it was like the final day after the movie, right?
Uh-huh.
And like we went to go, and our traps were like out in that morning, and I remember we didn't go check it together, and it was like no, no.
It was just like the final sign that we'd given up.
We were through.
Because we spent all week. I remember it was just like it was just such a joy. Us wandering through the woods, climbing on like fallen down trees and stuff, looking around for the pot guts, checking out traps, never catching anything because I never did, and I hate the pot guts. But I'm not salty about it. I obviously don't care. I wouldn't care because if I cared, then I'd be rambling. If I'd be rambling, then I wouldn't be thinking about what I'm saying. So like obviously, I don't care. So.
You know what the best part is?
What?
I still have the pot gut trap.
I think I might. Or we just. I can't promise.
And
but you know
the amount
what
of
it
times
is?
I've like stepped on the corner or something, I'm like, ah!
we should set it up and try to catch one of these kids.
No, Sean, do we want to talk about the ethical dilemma there with
Well,
catching
I think
children in pot gut traps?
I think we've already talked about that dilemma. And here's the thing:
Go even at the tall man.
if we can give them to a better family like us,
Are you saying we're a family?
we could be.
Alice is gonna hate this episode.
I feel like Allison's gonna hate a lot of the episodes of this semester.
I feel like I've said that almost every episode now. But
I will say, last episode seems to exclusively be the episode you hate, so that's a nice change of pace.
we'll get to your episode. It'll be there.
You kind of failed. You tried to bring up my love life, but then you ended up just talking about ethical dilemmas.
You see, I brought it up. I was like, do
Maybe-
I really care enough to talk about this?
Are you saying that my love life is an ethical dilemma? That's crazy.
All right, Sean, tell us about all the ethical dilemmas in your love life.
Let me think about it.
I bet you two hold hands. You're not even married.
No, shut up. We do not. We don't even look at each other. Ew, gross. We don't even hang out. She's a girl. Cooties. Yuck.
Now, Sean, is it ethical of you to call your girlfriend ooh, yucky, and gross?
See, that's where the real ethical dilemma in my relationship with Allison is. That's where it really lies.
We're getting to the root of the
If
problem.
I'm being really honest. Because when the relationship first started, every single time we spoke, I pretty much threatened to break up with her.
I remember this.
And it was a joke, but like, I shouldn't be joking about that.
How dare you.
I've stopped doing that because I realized...
Now you just call her icky and gross.
Well, she calls me it too. Although, to be fair...
It's mutual disgust.
She does it much less often than I do.
It's so funny to like talk about someone's relationship that you like don't understand at all, or like it's just like this is amazing.
It's okay.
Because like without context, you're like they do that, right? But like they don't understand. It's like
That's what, like, the first like month or two of my relationship with Allison, as I like revealed the kind of things I would say to her to my family. My family would be like, "You are like they didn't say this, but I could tell they were thinking like, you are ruining this. Like this is
you can't say that.
this is a good girl, and you are ruining every chance you have at this."
Oh, they still like that? Or they understand
No,
that?
I think they understand a little better. They've hung out more with her, and they kind of get the vibe now. So probably, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. That's the thing, though. We need to end soon, but with a relationship, the only people who really need to understand each other are in the relationship. So, it's whatever. Like us two, we don't understand each other, but that's part of the understanding.
It's true.
Which is an ethical dilemma in and of itself.
Thank you all so much for watching. I'm still Zach.
And I'm still Sean.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Speaking, everybody loves to speaking. Everybody loves to speak.
I read your description of last episode.
What did I say? I think I mentioned Naomi prepping that.
Yeah.
And something.
And that it would be ready by this episode.
What? No.
I'm pretty sure that's what you said.
No, I said that it would be ready in a future.
I don't know.
Future
I don't know
episode.
about that.
I'm
pretty sure you said next episode.
No, I said a future episode.
Well, let's look at it right now.
You know what? You can do that, and you will be like, "Oh, I'm such an idiot." Oh,
no,
my
we'll
goodness.
just go with Zach's right. We won't actually look into any of the evidence.
See,
or
now you're
anything.
doubting yourself, which just proves to me that I am the one that is in the right.
Well, that's debatable.
My belly button is tasting the wind right now. It's just tasting it.
It's tasting the wind. What? What? Lord.
You ever just do little stretchies and then your shirt comes up a bit and your belly button tastes the wind?
Never. I'm a modest boy.
Don't hit the recording device.
Did we murder it?
No, it's so good.
Oh.